The president bid farewell to the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe today. He's headed down to Key West to spend some time with the Joint Interagency Task Force reviewing their drug interdiction efforts. But the big news here out of the Palm Beach area is this meeting with Kim Jong-un and President Trump that looks a lot more likely now since Mike Pompeo, the CIA director, made a secret trip to Pyongyang over the Easter weekend to sit down for face-to-face talks with Kim Jong-un. The president yesterday saying that meeting forged a good relationship between North Korea and the United States. But the president also saying yesterday, well, before this thing even gets underway, it could fall apart or maybe even fall apart while it's underway. Listen to what the president said.
I hope to have a very successful meeting. If we don't think it's going to be successful, Mark, we won't have it. We won't have it. If I think that it's a meeting that is not going to be fruitful, we're not going to go. If the meeting, when I'm there, is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave the meeting.
He'll politely get up from the table and walk out. The president said yesterday that negotiations are underway, direct negotiations between the United States and North Korea over the possible release of those 3 Americans that remain detained in North Korea. Mike Pompeo, the CIA director, brought that up during his meeting with Kim Jong-un over the Easter weekend. Shinzo Abe yesterday warned the president that North Korea must not be rewarded, that concrete action has to be demanded from North Korea. So we'll see where that goes. Maybe some confidence-building measures ahead of this meeting. And, Bill, there's some possible locations that are being discussed. The president said that they had narrowed it down to 5 or so. Talking to a lot of people here around the president in the last few days. Singapore seems to be a possibility. Also a possibility of Vietnam, though I'm told that's probably less likely. Also, either Sweden or Switzerland.
Wow.
They're playing this very close to the vest. It's very sensitive, as you can imagine, but they're trying to work it out. One of the big considerations is how far Kim Jong-un is willing to travel. Certainly he's a little paranoid about what might happen when he's outside the country.
Beijing,
so that might speak to either Singapore or Vietnam. We'll see.
Right, so the president's making headlines himself on his comments about Bob Mueller and Rod Rosenstein. What was said, and where does that stand, John?
The president was asked about this for the first time since he went on that tirade against the raid on his attorney, Michael Cohen, talking about Bob Mueller and Rod Rosenstein. The president yesterday saying that he has directed his attorneys to cooperate fully. And in terms of potentially firing Mueller or Rosenstein, doesn't seem to be any burning desire by the president to do that. Listen to what he said.
Nobody has ever been more transparent than I have instructed our lawyers. Be totally transparent. I believe we've given them 1.4 million pages of documents, if you can believe this. As far as the 2 gentlemen you told me about, they've been saying I'm going to get rid of them for the last 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and they're still here. So we want to get the investigation over with, done with, put it behind us.
The president was also asked why he didn't go ahead with Russia sanctions after his UN ambassador Nikki Haley on Sunday said that they were just around the corner. The president saying, we will do sanctions.